Hi, today we're going to talk about ISO. That's the ability to make your sensor more sensitive to the light that's available to you for taking a good photograph. If you have a lot of light to work with and you're using a tripod or your subject isn't moving, you can use a low ISO like 100 for a clean, crisp photo. And I'll show you some examples of what I mean by that in just a few minutes. If it's dark, or if you're not allowed to use flash, then you need to increase your ISO so that you can take better use of the available light that you do have. Another need for it might be in sports photography, where you want to stop the action. By increasing your ISO, you can also increase your shutter speed to get that photo that you're looking with that stop action in it. Take a look at this chart. On the left-hand side, there's a gradient, and it's nice and smooth. If you were to shoot this gradient at around 3200 ISO perhaps, on the right hand side you would see the results. What appears there is kind of a grain, a mottled look to it, noise in it, and this isn't something that's desirable generally to have in your photographs. Let's take a look at these three photos. The first one was shot at ISO 100 for 20 seconds, the second one at ISO 2500 for only a half a second, and then the third one for 12,800 ISO for only a 1/13 of a second. And while your camera may not go that high in ISO, I just wanted to show you what happens in the process of doing this. See this red circle? Let's zoom into that and take a look at these three photos again. So here you can see in this comparison side by side how the grain develops. And by the time you get to the third sample, that grain is very dark and very heavy. Now, if you're going to be sending out a photo in just an email or perhaps putting it on a website, this might not make any difference to you. But if you're going to make a very big enlargement, that grain could actually change the impact that your photo has. It may not be desirable at all. However, sometimes you want to shoot at this high of ISO if you're capturing an important moment, like a birthday party and someone blowing out candles. You know, the grain isn't as important as catching that image in that moment in time. The best tip I can give you is to use the lowest ISO possible. That way you're assured to get the best picture you can given the light conditions.